Good morning, students. This is Pradyuman sir again in front of you, and here I am to give a new video on a new topic of our lesson first. And today's topics are, the first topic is fourth generation language. Okay. In the previous video, we are just discussing about the first and second generation language, and after that the third generation language. Now in this video, we are just giving a capture or the whole information about the fourth generation language and the AI language, or we call this AI language as fifth generation of language. And after that, the next heading is working of transistors. Okay, so let's get started with the first topic is fourth generation language. The fourth generation language are modern high level language. Fourth generation language are designed to reduce the overall overall time, effort and cost of software development. Means now these are very cheap language, means they are very affordable. You can just simply learn them all, and easy to get all these things into the softwares, and very user friendly. Okay, so some popular fourth generation languages are PL/SQL, Foxtrot, Stata and Oracle, and Visual Basic. Okay, basically Visual Basic is very popular among the fourth generation language. It is very because many software developer countries and software engineers are using Visual Basic languages because it is very easy to learn. Okay, the codings of these languages are very easy to very affordable, very easy and very cheap to understand by in the fourth generation of language. Now the features of fourth generation language are as follows. It is a machine independent, means these are the these are the language are just simply basis on machine dependent. Okay, they are simply just independent on machines. And after that, it is more user friendly as compared to, as I told you that this type of generation language is more user friendly than previous one. Previous means third generation of language. And after that, it has a very high speed of execution, means you can just simply understand these all languages, or means the code of that particular language very easily, because these are very user friendly, and we can just easily capture all these things just in seconds. Okay, the codings are very easy, and we as you all know that we are simply to afford to use such type of language very easily. So here you can see this is more compatible than third generation of language. After that, it makes the programming easier. Means suppose if you are learning an answer of any question, and the language of that particular question is very difficult to learn. Okay, but if your teacher gives you a second language, okay, means the second particular suppose the question is about 4 or 5 lines, and you cannot simply learn that question because of the language. But suppose if the teacher will simply explain the whole question and answer very as compared to desirable language as you want, then you can just simply learn that question. So the fourth generation of language is that type of language you can just simply understand the language very easily, and you can just program. You can just programming. Okay, you can just simply develop a software or program very easily in fourth generation of language. Now after that, artificial language or fifth generation of language means AI language, or we can say that AI language is also known as fifth generation of language. Okay, so here you can see that now artificial intelligence is a technique with which a machine is made to think and take decisions like human beings. Okay, means likewise we are just using such type of language as the machine is also capable to think or to give the reply of that particular program. Okay, suppose if whatever desire we want, whatever our need is to do, the machine will do as per your requirement. Okay, so these type of languages, or the fifth generation of the AI language is just simply like the features of AI function in your smartphones and your laptops or PCs. So fifth generation of languages are still at the experimental stage and are being developed for the future. Means they are not fully developed, as the fifth generation of computer is not fully developed. Still, the work is going in process, but likewise, the fifth generation of language is also in the development mode. Okay, means it is under development. It is still being developed for the futures. So you can just simply say that AI language is very reliable or very easy to be simply like to give you that platform that you can just simply do your programming very reliably. Okay, so after that, once developed, these languages will make the computer solve a given problem without a program. Means when this AI language is fully developed, then you are not supposed to give the full program. Okay, you are not supposed to give the full instruction to the computer. You are just simply whatever desire you have, it will just simply solve that problem with very easy and without any programming. Okay, without any coding or anything else. Now after that, robots are the example of system working with the artificial intelligence. Means nowadays the robots are being used in many places, like in restaurants and like in hospitals and many more places. You can just see that robotic arms and robotic human units, they are simply used in place of human. Because of these, so they are very compatible, they are very easy to use, they are very user friendly. So that's why we are just if you are in a restaurant and you are seeing that a robot is serving the food for everyone, then you just simply order. Like a waiter, you can just simply type all the order, or by selecting your order, it will just simply prepare that food, and after that serve it to you. Okay. Now after that, some fifth generation languages are Mercury, OPS, Python and Prolog. These are the example of these type of languages of AI language. Okay, these are the AI language by which you can simply get to know about the machine programming very easily. Okay, now the last heading or the last topic is working on transistor. Okay, so about working on transistors means to that machine is the only language that is easily understood by a computer. Means a machine language. Okay, the first language we are saying this as the first generation of language, that is machine language, is just simply easy for computer to get interact with computer system and a user. Okay, suppose if I am working on a computer or a system, it will be easy if I know that what are the machine language. Okay, if I know the machine language, then I just simply interact with my or communicate with my system. If I doesn't know, then it will goes nothing with the machine. Okay, and after that, a program written in a high language or assembly language cannot be run directly on a computer. Means it is not simply to run use all things in a computer system directly, because it is not easy. Okay, because if you wanted to run any type of language in front of with a computer system, then you have to just simply a software. You have to need a software for that language. Okay. So now after it needed to convert into computer understanding language, for this a computer needs a translator. Okay. Suppose here again I am taking an example of a translator. Suppose if I know Hindi only and you know only English, okay, then suppose you are saying something but I doesn't get it. If I saying something in Hindi, you doesn't get it, because we both doesn't know the language of Hindi and English. Okay, so between us there is a translator, so that it just simply convert the language. Okay, so that we can just simply understand whatever we are just saying to each other. Okay, so likewise a translator is a system in a computer that convert the human language to a machine language or assembly language. Okay, so now a translator is used to convert a form. Okay, here is the simply definition of a translator. So just listen very carefully. In the 17th page, on the top of the page, the paragraph, a translator is used to convert one form of language to another, so that a computer understands the instruction it receives. Means whatever instruction given by a user is just simply understood by a computer if there is a translator in between the user and the computer system. Okay, if there is a translator installed, if the translator is pre-installed in a computer system, then you can just simply give the instruction to the computer system, and the computer system receives your instruction and show the result as per your instructions. Okay, now a program written in a high level language is called source code. Okay, means if we are writing written a code doing a programming in a high level language, then it will be called as source code. Okay, as you just simply see here, the HLL is simply like source code. Okay, so this is the source code. HLL means high level language is a source code for this. Okay, now after that source code is sent to the translator that convert into machine language. Means whatever we write, whatever the coding, whatever means the HLL language we write, then after it goes to the translator, and then to the translator. And after that translator translate that high level language to the machine language. Okay, it will change HLL to the ML. Okay, in machine language. And after converting these, it will just simply understand the instruction given by the user. Okay, so in the figure 1.21, okay, here you can see that the source code goes to translator, and translator converted the source code into machine code, and after that machine code is understood by computer system. Okay, so now here you can see the type of translator. Okay, this is a bonus point for you. This is a bonus topic for you, like this. That the fourth one is type of translator. Okay, types of translators. Okay, so translators. So in the type of translator, we just simply know that how many types of translators are there and what are their works. Okay, so just simply translator or language processor are of three types. Means these are of three types. It is here. So these are of three types. First is the assembler. Okay, now the second is compiler. And third is interpreter. Okay, so these are the three types of translators: assembler, compiler, and interpreter. In the fifth class, we just simply learned about these all. That what is the work of a compiler, what is the work of an assembler, what is the work of an interpreter. But still, in the sixth class, you can again just to simply learn about these all in very detail. So here you can see that an assembler. Assembler is a translator that translates a program written in an assembly language to machine language. Means this is just simply the assembler. Here you can see that the assembler is just simply change the assembly language. Means the assembly language to machine language. Okay, and after that, but this is only the work of assembler only. Okay, assembler is a translator which is used for to change the assembly language to the machine language. And afterwards, the compiler. A compiler is a translator that is used to translate program written in a high level language into low level language. Means a compiler convert HLL to LLL. Okay, LLL. After this, it translates the entire program in one loop. Means just to simply get the coding into the computer system, it will convert it on the board. Okay, means in one click only. And after that, after the complete the error and detect and remove it. Means whatever error it found, it just simply detect it and remove it. Okay, this is the work of a compiler. Okay, assembler. The work of assembler is to convert assembly language into machine language. The compiler work is to convert high level language into low level language and found the error, detect the error, and after that remove it. Okay, detect the error and remove it. And after that, the last one is interpreter. An interpreter is a translator that translates a program written in a high level language into machine language. Means the interpreter work is to that change the HLL, means high level language to machine language ML. Okay, and what it do after that, it translates one line of a program at a time and report the error once it encountered. Okay, means first of all it just simply detected the error in one line. Okay, whatever the coding you give it to the computer system, it will just simply detect the first line, it will just simply read that first line and after that detect the errors. Okay, detect the errors and after that just give it the proper information about the errors to the user so that it can change, it can remove the errors and after that make your programming very correctly. Okay, the 100%, it ensure that your program is 100% complete. And after that, an interpreter is considered better than compiler because the errors are reported and removed line by line. Means likewise a teacher is just simply check your copy by line by line. Okay, suppose you are writing an answer from here to here, then the teacher is simply just check the spellings and all the errors found and after that circle it. Okay, with the red pen and after that you can change or the teacher can change that incorrect spelling with its red pen. So that's likewise the interpreter is also much better than the compiler because it will just detect the errors line by line and after that show it to the user and so that the user can correct the errors and after that the programming is working on. Okay, so in the compiler it will just simply detect all the errors in just one click. Okay, but still there are some errors it cannot found, but the interpreter found all the errors line by line and after that give all the information about the errors to the user so that it can change or correct it and after that the coding will work as per the instruction. Okay students, I think it's enough for today. So I think and after that the remaining topics we will just simply continue tomorrow in the next video. So stay tuned with me and only me. Okay, so bye.